Welcome to your Dance Teacher Potential channel. We are coming to you this week with a super important topic about how to teach choreography to little ones. You know, we are dancers. We went through the whole training and then we're back in the room. And if you have dancers that proficiently do steps that you know, then you can choreograph it. It's fine. But what about when you have the task to do choreographies for little ones? It is a science. And we're here to tell you a few tips of how to do it effectively. So when you are choreographing little ones, you have to think about simple and clean. So make sure you are bringing to their choreography steps that they already master. So steps that you've already been working on, you can introduce into your choreography. And potentially, if it's a group that's not very good at taking in new information, you take 3 or 4 different steps and you can repeat them over and over and over again in different places of the choreography. Another very good thing to do is to tell them a story. This way they can remember the choreography. So it could be that the little bees came and then they ate the flower and then they popped a balloon and then they turned around and then the crocodile hands came out. And then they're like, oh, yeah, now it all makes sense. And sometimes when you are rehearsing, you just say crocodile hands and pop the balloon. And those things make so much sense in their head. And then they become excited about it and they want to do it over and over again. And then you are golden in that room. Yes, Lee, what else do you think we can do when we are teaching choreography to little ones?
Yeah, I think that often we tend to teach faster, right? Because we're so used to doing moves quickly. I think we have to remember to slow it down for them, right? So that it looks clean and it looks well rehearsed and not sloppy and them just trying to get through the steps because their bodies can't handle it. I know I personally made that mistake when I started out, that I was just like, oh, they can do it this fast. I can do it this fast. But they can't. That speed is not their jam. I also think that, yeah, what you said about steps that they already know from class, that's all their dance should be pretty much with different formations, you know? I also think the adding, calling a different step, maybe this is when we blow up the bubble gum, not in a story necessarily all the time, because maybe you're doing a jazz dance, not necessarily a ballet dance where you get to be that imaginative. But you're doing a jazz dance or a tap dance, and there's just one move that, can be a bubble gum or where you flick something off your shoe. Giving those moves a name that's not necessarily a dance name is also really beneficial for them.
Yes, absolutely. I think sometimes when you are transitioning, like if they need to go from the front to the back, if you make that a fun, exciting moment, then they'll remember, right? So if they pop the balloon, and then, so you'll say pop the balloon, and then change places, or like you yell out something and they'll get it. I think another super important thing to be careful with when you're choreographing for little ones is the music. The music is so important. And so the same thing when you're thinking about your choreography that is simple and clean, you have to go through that music and make sure that music is simple and clean for you so that you understand it pretty well, and then you can give it to the kids. Potentially, if you are given music that you didn't necessarily choose, then you just go, slowly and clean very, very clearly with the children. But if you can choose your own music, make sure it's music that is for little ones. And for little ones, like the tiniest ones, sometimes what we've done, Lee, right, is that we get songs with words, or songs that are sung. So that's even better for them, because they sing along and they know the step with the song and the music. And so all of those 3 things come together and then they can learn it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think what you said about music is very important, because if the speed also is too fast or the beat is too fast and they can't hear it, then you're going to have a really difficult time just getting them to understand any of the moves,
Absolutely.
because they're going to be so focused on like what's happening,
Yeah.
instead of like, this is the step, this is what comes next.
Yeah. And it's important that you are flexible when you go into that room and know that maybe what you were thinking might not necessarily work for them. So you had this whole plan and then you come in the room and it's not working. It's just not working. And you spend 45 minutes or an hour trying to work through something. And so I would say if it looks terrible and you have a gut feeling that it's not going to ever work, if you have the ability to immediately shift and make it simple, then do it right away. It's going to save you so much time. If you feel that the dancers will potentially be able to get it in 2 or 3 rehearsals, you could simplify just a little bit and continue to work on it and give it to 2 weeks, at the most 3 weeks. And if it's still not working, change it, because that's going to haunt you all the way to the date of the performance, and then you're going to see it the date and it's still not working. You're going to be like, why did I do that? So be flexible and open, and always simplify when it's not working.
Especially because their little bodies can't handle like a full hour of just rehearsal, trying to get it into their bodies. They get tired after like 20 minutes. They're like, okay, I'm done, I'm over it, and they've clocked out.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore, and my body and my mind are not going to retain this information. Absolutely. So this is pointless.
Yes, yeah, that is an incredibly important point. You cannot expect to go in and rehearse like you do with your older students. You have to think that if you're going to run that choreography, after you've been teaching it, and you have to teach it in little chunks, first of all, and then when you're going to run it, they're going to give you 2 or 3 good runs at the most. After that, that's it. They want to do something else. They don't want to do the same thing over and over again. So you have to be very smart in how you organize your time with them, and you have to be very prepared before you go into the classroom. And when you're in the classroom, you use that time wisely. Sometimes what I've done is that when it's getting ready for showtime and I really want them to run through the whole choreography before we get to the show a few times, I do a little warm up and then I run the choreography 3 times before I go through the entire class, because I don't wait up until then they're very tired in the end to run the entire choreography. And so I make it at special days, and it's probably 2 or 3 weeks before the show. I just go in, warm up, then rehearse for a couple times, and then we can have our class.
Absolutely. So they don't max out their energy. Yeah, amazing. I think that's all we have time for today. This has been amazing. I hope this has helped you watching this, and you can go into your classroom with maybe a new mindset. Make sure you like and subscribe to see more tips and videos from us. We post weekly. Anything else, Rihanna?
I think if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us as well, and we'll be happy to
absolutely
anything that you are having. So you have our information here in our channel, so reach out to us.